Hi, this is Steve Wagner, and this is a brief video on managing employee separations. Now, let's first talk about voluntary turnover. What is it? Well, it's voluntary because employees have the choice to leave the organization, to find better job opportunities, or because they're dissatisfied with their job or their work conditions. And this kind of voluntary turnover can carry significant costs for organizations. So, how do these costs manifest themselves and how can they be monitored? Let's look at direct and indirect costs associated with voluntary turnover. So, voluntary departures can lead to direct costs like more recruitment efforts, more hiring efforts, more training expenses for new hires. Additionally, there's indirect costs like loss of productivity and strain on remaining team members and potential disruptions to customer service or project timelines. There are leading indicators of voluntary turnover that should be monitored, including tardiness and absenteeism. These are often early signs that an employee may be considering leaving. Absenteeism, especially without notice, is a stronger indicator than tardiness and can signal disengagement or dissatisfaction with a person's role or dissatisfaction with the organization as a whole. We should be maintaining metrics to manage turnover. We should measure turnover rate. It provides a percentage of total employees who have left within a given time period. This metric is calculated by dividing the number of employee departures during the year by the average number of employees in that year and then multiplying by 100. We should also look at the retention rate. This metric reflects the percentage of employees who stayed within the organization throughout the year. It's calculated by dividing the number of employees who remained the entire year by the number at the start of the year and then multiplying by 100, again, to get that percentage. High retention rate indicates stability and employee satisfaction. By understanding the costs of voluntary turnover and using these metrics, organizations can identify patterns, address causes of dissatisfaction, and implement strategies to improve retention. It can't be emphasized enough that voluntary turnover can be very costly for organizations. It can impact finances, productivity, and team dynamics. In terms of direct costs, these are costs associated with increased recruiting and onboarding and training efforts. These can put a strain on the existing system and also cost a lot of money in terms of the hours of time spent on these. Each new hire requires time and resources to reach full productivity. So turnover can be a costly process. When employees leave, there's also a loss of their collective knowledge, skills, and abilities. This is a loss of human capital. And this knowledge, skills, and abilities is critical for maintaining performance and competitive advantages in many circumstances. There can also be a loss of social capital. Departing employees take with them interpersonal relationships and networks that they've built within the organization and in some cases outside of the organization. These connections can be valuable for collaboration and organizational cohesion and can cause disruptions in team dynamics and trust. By understanding and managing these costs, we can help organizations make more informed decisions about retention strategies and ensure that the impact of these outcomes of turnover are minimized. We can understand voluntary turnover better by looking at causes that have been identified in research and models that have been developed to explain voluntary turnover. One of the leading causes of voluntary turnover is unhappiness in one's role. Employees may be dissatisfied with their job, the organization, or the work environment, and if these elements do not meet their needs or their expectations, they're more likely to seek opportunities elsewhere. Another factor to consider is this ease of movement. If there is availability of alternative jobs that are competitive in terms of what they offer employees, then employees may weigh their options and look to explore how to advance their careers through these opportunities. The unfolding model of turnover suggests that there are key critical incidents or changes, such as organizational restructuring or personal life events, that can disrupt an employee's feelings about the organization or their role and prompt them to reassess their current job and consider leaving for a different job. Job embeddedness model suggests that there are factors that keep employees in their jobs, connections with their colleagues, the alignment they feel with the values of the organizational culture, the sacrifices they'd have to make if they left. High job embeddedness can be a way of counterbalancing dissatisfaction with one's role. Understanding these factors of embeddedness can help us understand how to manage and perhaps avoid voluntary turnover. Understanding these causes and models helps organizations identify factors that they can address